At this point, you've created your first Android Studio project and have ensured that the project can be compiled without any issues. So now it's time to run your project and see how it looks. Android Studio has the ability to run your applications on virtual Android devices called emulators. The emulator can have a lot of functionality you would find on a normal device. It can't, however, provide things like GPS functionality or the ability to make calls. You can simulate them, but you can't actually make a call. Running an app on an emulator can be slower than on an actual device. But for testing purposes, emulators can be a huge time saver since there are so many different devices with different configurations. So you can try to replicate most of that with the emulator itself. You should already have one emulator set up and ready to go, but you can create others on your own. So let's do that now.
With your project open, click on the AVD Manager icon in the toolbar and get a list of the current available emulators. Let's create a new emulator. Click the Create Virtual Device button. You can select any type of device category from the list on the left, and that it presents you with some templates for hardware configurations. Or you could create your own custom hardware configuration using the new Hardware Profile button. Select an existing configuration like the Pixel 2 and click Next. You can have your device run on any of the available Android versions and show the available choices across the various tabs on this screen. Android emulators emulate everything down to the processor on the device, which is generally an ARM processor. However, the code usually runs on an x86-based processor on a Mac or a PC, and that means converting the instructions on the emulator, which kind of slows things down. Google now provides x86 images for Android, which runs faster on desktops because it doesn't have to do the instruction conversion. This can be sped up even faster by installing HAXM, which helps speed up Android emulation on a host machine. We'll talk about HAXMs again soon enough. It's better to pick an x86 image. Pick an x86 image either from the recommended or x86 tabs. If the selected image is not downloaded, then click the download link next to the image name and download it before we can proceed. You can name the new virtual device here, and you can also change the various settings here as well. If you are happy with the new configuration, click the Finish button to create the new virtual device. Close the AVD Manager and go back to the main Android Studio screen. Now that you know how to create an emulator, and you now actually have an emulator to work with, you can run your app and see how it works. Click the Run button on the toolbar. It should show a device emulator selector. You can select a device if it is connected or an emulator from this screen to run your app on. Select one of the virtual devices and click OK. If this is the first time running the emulator, you will be prompted to install HAXM. HAXM is useful that it will generally speed up the emulator performance. Go through the installation steps. On macOS, you may need to open the system preferences to accept the installation. And the installation itself will take a while. It may just look as if it's stuck, but just let it go. And eventually, the next button will become enabled. Once that's ready, it may take a few more minutes for the virtual device to boot up. Don't worry, that's normal. In some cases, you may need to start the emulator first and then run your app again from Android Studio. And you'll notice right away the new app is up and running. Hopefully that wasn't too bad. You'll notice that next to the emulator is a toolbar to do common things. First, there is a power button, which you can use to power off the device. Keep in mind, this won't turn off the emulator. Rather, this will simulate turning off the actual device. Next, you manage the emulator's volume controls. The next two controls manage orientation of the device. You can also take screenshots as well. The magnifying glass allows you to zoom, and the triangle is your back button. The circle is your home button, and the square is your app switcher. The last control opens up your extended controls where you can simulate phone calls, locations, and even network conditions.